Hello, friends. Today we're just going to talk for a little while. My sweetheart has gone. There's meetings throughout the state that he has to be at, and so no one's here to tape. And so I'd love to tell you what I did as a grandma today and show you some really simple ideas. First, to understand, I was born right at the end of the Depression. My parents lived through it and raised a family of 7 children. My father was a cotton farmer and cattle rancher. My sweet mama was a stay-home mama, and I have such choice memories of always having a hot breakfast. Breakfast was our big meal. It was amazing. Wonderful meals. We had our own milk cow, our chickens, a garden, fruit trees to go around the yard. It was pecans, orange trees, date trees, apricot, pomegranate, and a grape orchard. And our own beef, had milk goats that we raised calves on mainly, but if ever we needed the goat's milk, we also had it. So from my mother, I learned a lot of things about canning and using what we can produce to feed a family. Mother and Daddy were wonderful. I don't do nearly as good as them, but they didn't throw away hardly anything. But Mother was an exquisite housekeeper, so we were not hoarders. Everything that was saved was organized, labeled, and you knew where to find it. Let me give you an example. There was an old player piano that was no longer capable of keeping tune, and it needed to be tossed. So to keep her kids involved in good things and for a purpose that served many of us for probably 40, 50 years. She gave them each screwdrivers and had them take all the screws out of that player piano and put them in. She had 2-gallon jars full of different assorted size screws and little bolts and with the nuts on them and all. And of course she instructed the kids to put the nuts back on the screws so they would all be together. Then she stored it and labeled it. I remember my uncle that was very good at fixing things would come by and say, "Ruth, could I look at your screws? I can't find this size of bolt or screw or whatever." And quite often he would find it and head out to fix one of the farm equipments. So, like I said, for 40, 50 years, those screws were used. And it kept children busy and out of trouble and not arguing. And we were having fun. It was really enjoyable. I was just a little bitty one. But I still remember playing around thinking I was being useful. And the older kids were actually disassembling that. So I've picked up on some of those traits. In this video, I'm going to have my grandson give a picture of that was sent to me by text. Our daughter sent it and said, "Mom, you don't happen to be sewing in the next few days, do you?" they've purchased a ranch, and they were going out, and we live in Arizona. It's getting hot. And they needed something. They had been putting just Walmart bags and a few bottles of water over their horn to head on out. Well, their younger son, who had been here almost a year ago, the grandkids like to come either do paint projects or learn to paint or sew or do something. We were doing something in the sewing room, and I had constructed a very simple bag that he could go hiking with, or I said you can throw it over the horn of the saddle and pack it with your granola bar, a sandwich, an apple, a bottle of water, whatever. And that's what she was needing. They're going to go on Roundup next week. So, of course, Grandma likes to feel useful. Well, I never, ever throw away Levi's. Back when I was raising our 10 children, I was not an exquisite seamstress. I certainly could sew to keep the kids clothed, but whenever there were holes in the knees or in the crotch or in a pocket, you mended it. Well, I know that seems strange today because our grandkids now go for stoned wash. They want the ones that look like they're old jeans. We like the bright, very navy blue jeans. That showed that we could afford a new pair of jeans. And they have the threadbare in from their knees to their pockets to the rear ends now that they sell for big bucks. And so we still tease them, and I say, oh, you look so nice. But I'd sure be willing to patch those pants for you if you don't want people to make fun of you. And they just laugh because they know that Grandma knows this is the style now. But I made hundreds of Levi quilts, saddlebags, horn bags, our own backpacks. And I try to have a 72-hour kit. And when we had 10 kids, we couldn't afford to buy nice backpacks for all of them. So I took the old Levi's or other material that I had and sewed 10 backpacks and put in there their own personal items, and enough that if we had to evacuate, they would grab their backpack, and if they were separated, it would help them on survival. And so that's just something that we've always done. So, of course, it was easy to say, of course, I would love to make those little horn bags for you. Because I don't have a filmer, I'm going to turn it off, arrange what I've done today. I made 11 bags in less than an hour. And it was from all scrap. And it was not beautifully stitched or anything else, but it's very sturdy. I don't think it'll ever wear out. And they use it, they take it off the horn, they throw it in the washer. It's ready for the next time. All the hair is gone, the dirt and everything else, and they've been able to go out. And if you were hiking, you could make a longer strap that you could put over you and use it as a bag just to carry. Or you could, and I'll show you how, slide it through and hook it to your belt loop. So one moment, and we'll be right back. Okay, here we go. I took the end or the bottom of the Levi pants and cut them off and turned them inside out and sewed across right here. Why would I do that with tapered pants? Well, because, as you can see, look at all of these. I'm not going to fasten it at the top, but the smaller edge becomes something that it would not easily fall out of. So to taper up is smart, in my opinion. And look, it's already totally hemmed. So Grandma's lazy, and you don't have to rehem that. Now, you see varied straps. Let me explain. Look at this right here. See? This strapping comes yards and yards of it. Our two boys that are in construction have their own company, get pallets that are bound with this. It is strapping that will never, ever wear out. It, I believe, tests, this is what the truckers use, and it's hundreds, if not thousands of pounds that it will hold. And look at this. I utilize that too. That's so easy to be able to do the very same. You just do it, come through here, and you have a fastener. So I save even the fasteners. So I say, okay, I need some more of your strapping, and on the next job, they bring me a whole bunch of it. The other day, I happened to be out at their construction site, and they said, Mom, you don't by any chance happen to have some rope in your car, do you? I said, of course I do. I've got a 72-hour kit. I've got a backpack with a 72-hour kit. Look at this. Paracord, 25 feet, and I got it for $1.25. Okay? Paracord is wonderful because it's got 7 strands in it, and each strand is what? I believe it's 75 to 100 pounds. And so this will hold like 700, 500, I believe it's 75 for each strand. And so the paracord itself holds 500 pounds. And so I grabbed a couple of those and put them in my 72-hour kit. Well, you could take that and you could make it the strapping for such bags, okay? Like I said, I don't throw anything away. This is nylon strapping that will hold forever, wash like iron. It came on a sheet. That's from Bath and Body Works, and I couldn't throw it away. Well, it made a great one. Look at this. That's what my strapping is. So all you do is you take, this is not a pair that I can show you, right here. Let me see. Here. See that? You can cut that, and it's a rope that will last forever. I've used it for all sorts of strapping. So even when I cut up my Levi's and use other parts of the Levi material, I always cut that out because it's reinforced many times with their commercial sewing machines, and denim is so hefty as far as a material that will endure. This is just a strange thing that Grandma has done, something that seems to help every now and then. It's not pretty, it's not exact. I didn't, as you can tell, I sewed it with black thread. I didn't change the color of my thread each time. I didn't worry if the strapping was exactly correct. But I'm going to show you, if I can with one hand, is all you would have to do. One moment, and I'll turn it around. Okay, here we are. This is a belt loop. You'd go through your belt loop. You see that? Take your bag, put it through, and immediately you would have something that you could go hiking with that could carry. The kids love to put treasures in them. It could have, like I said, a water bottle, granola bar, sandwich, apple, whatever. It's just really simple. I hope that you will find something in here that would be beneficial, but maybe this video ought to be Grandma Saves Everything, but it seems to be able to be recycled, and it saves a few pennies, and it brings the kids to my home often. Love you. Bye-bye.